Hello everybody, welcome back to the studio. Today we are going to paint with the water brush. Now I've been painting already and as you can see my water is dirty. So taking that water brush and dipping it into the burnt sienna, I'll start off with painting a few leaves. Now I'll just go through this with you very quickly as I'm literally just testing out some shapes and filling them in with paint. The quinacridone rose and all the other colors were already prepared and loosened up. I know it seems like I just dive in, but before this painting I had already finished something else. I'll pop in a quick picture to show you. This color palette is unique because I've taken it from my other painting class, Watercolor and Reiki Flow, and that same artificial yellow rose is next to me. I wanted to recreate the scene and it's just not the same, but I'm letting that watercolor flow, and you'll experience that in your studio as well, that not one day is the same as a previous, and every time you sit down and paint, you'll learn something new. Now alternating with the colors into those leaves and adding more pigment will bring that painting together. You'll see that as I drop in some of that quinacridone rose, I don't fiddle with it. I just let it play with the color that's already there and move where it needs to. My sketchbook is currently on a flat surface and that helps in a way. But when you need your paint to flow a little bit more, you can pick up your sketchbook if you need to and sort of guide the paint into a direction. Now, you can use imaginary leaves or flowers and play in your sketchbook and discover what other types of magic things you can do with that water brush. You'll see those bristles spread out just like a normal brush. The only thing you need to be wary of or aware of, that your water brush has a constant flow of water from the barrel. That means that your tip will be wetter than normal. I often take my water paint brushes with me when I go and paint out in the botanical gardens or in the garden outside my house, or if I'm just taking a drive somewhere and I'm preparing to paint. As you know by now, I always have my sketchbook with me and a little limited palette of colors. I'll continue this painting and let you watch a little bit more of the actual process instead of talking about it. And I also urge you to take your sketchbooks and fill pages of your practice pieces. You'll only discover how much you can improve when you have a look back at your sketchbook over a period of time and see how you grew. Now, while this paint is still wet, you can continue to dip in more color or tip in more color. So just have a look until I get to the next one. And there it is, a little bit of blue just to tie everything in together. Give it some depth and dimension. And what the heck, just use what you've got and play with the colors. You'll discover so many new color combinations that it will blow your mind how much you can accomplish with just 3 colors. As you can see, I just add in some extra colors and allow the paint to play. I do move it into directions where I want it, but I don't fiddle with the paint. Moving on to the next one, I decided to create some layers instead. So this time I'll fill in with one color and build my little branch with its leaves, trying to emulate the painting I did first. But as you know, when we paint from imagination, things don't always look the same. And that's the beauty of it, is to have that variation. So I'll paint in some of those leaves and I'll catch up with you on the next layer. Right, back at the page with a brand new view. I'm adding that second coating of color, and this time I'm going in with pinks only. Just some soft washes over the previous layer will also have a dimensional effect on every petal. Now, you can try both of these techniques to see what works best for you. Even if you stick to one, you'll still get satisfying results. But the main thing to take back from this is that you need to actually sit down and paint and discover what you can do. I can guide you all the way, but I can't sit there and do the homework for you, so to speak. You actually have to fill a sketchbook or two before you can learn what it feels like to work with each of these techniques. Maybe I'll let you just watch until I go to the last layer. See you there. This time I didn't dry the layers in between, but I continue with the blue, some more or less like I did in the previous leaves. This time only creating little marks by tipping in some color to resemble blemishes on every leaf. I'm not painting in the color, I'm just dropping it in. You can easily lift out excess color by drying off your brush bristles on the side and making sure that it's dry enough to actually lift out some of that moisture and pigment. Let me know in the comments if you have been experimenting with your watercolor brush recently. Well, what interesting results you've achieved. I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for joining me. See you soon. Bye.